Go to prevent a foreclosure, shouldn't borrowers also bear some responsibility for doing the right thing?
So let's ask our Fox panel, including Terry Keenan from Fox News, Peter Schiff, author of Crash Proof, Fox Business contributor Charles Payne, and Gary Kaltbaum from GaryK.com, along with Joe Battipaglia of Stifel Nicholas. Joe, when you hear that one woman that Adam just interviewed talking about how a modification in her mortgage is now helping her actually hold on to the house, does this give you encouragement in thinking that this is the right path to follow?
Well, unfortunately, we have such large volume here that if you stabilize those in their homes, they will not be contributors to the economy prospectively because it will still be a heavy burden. In addition, the marketplace will not know what the true value of homes should be, so it arguably will take longer for prices to correctly adjust. And then lastly, the banks then must take even bigger write-offs along with their investors over the next 2 years, which creates more uncertainty for the credit markets.
Charles, Ben Bernanke was talking about equity today. The value that you have in a home. He says that we, the government, should do more to, quote, restore some equity for the homeowner. But a lot of these homeowners put no equity in it. They don't have a stake in their home because they didn't put any money down. So is he using the wrong word when he says restore equity because they didn't have any to begin with?
I think he might have probably should have used restore confidence or restore confidence in the system or the real estate market. Certainly restoring equity probably is the wrong word to use. But I sort of disagree a little bit with Joe is just saying. I think the banks, you know, despite the fact who's at fault, who made a mistake, probably it's part self-preservation and part that confidence thing that Bernanke alluded to. They need to work with these borrowers right now to try to figure something out. Also, the banks have to know in the back of their mind that Congress is probably going to come out with some more plans, and, you know, probably at the end of the day, they might get bailed out, you know, through the taxpayer one way or another.
Peter Schiff, what's the best idea here to fix this problem at the moment, and how much of a responsibility do the homeowners bear?
Well, you know, I think the borrowers are actually in the driver's seat here. I mean, look what Bernanke admitted, that the recovery rates in foreclosure are less than 50 cents on the dollar. So that's a powerful incentive because the borrower can just say, I'm out of here. Here's my keys. And when the lenders are confronted with those realities, they're going to make a deal with these borrowers that maybe is better than getting 40 or 50 cents or less on the dollar. So I don't think they need any help. I think it's the lenders who need the help.
Well, and Terry, Bernanke's also talking about not only lowering interest, but lowering the principal on the house. And the question is, won't everybody want a lowering of their principal now?
Of course, and if you lower the principal on a house that's in trouble and on the verge of foreclosure, you're lowering the price of the whole neighborhood. You know, there goes the neighborhood. And it boggles my mind that Ben Bernanke is using the term restore equity. It is the exact flip side, 180 degrees from what Alan Greenspan told everyone to do 3 years ago, which was equity extraction. Extract the equity out of your house. Go shopping, you know. Go help the economy. Now, the government, we're supposed to now restore this equity?
Yeah, that's a good point. You extract equity and spend it, and then the government refills your piggy bank for you so you can do it again. But you know what this also shows is how much home prices have to fall. If lenders can only get back 50 cents on the dollar in a foreclosure, that means down payments need to be 50%.
Let's get Gary Kaltbaum in here, and then Joe, I'll let you get back into. Gary, when you look at the overall idea of a solution that might involve the government and the lenders, what is it?
Well, I think the solution is move to Sweden at this point in time. You know, I got to tell you, I sat there. I'm in Orlando, and I'm watching Bernanke and listened to, I wasn't there where he was, but listening to what he says. And this proposal is just, I cannot believe what I am listening to. You're going to ask banks to give up money. Banks can't afford to give up money right now. They're losing their butts, and they don't even know where their earnings are. All this is more socialist policy to let government get in and do more. And all they've done is screw things up in the first place.
Joe,
Markets have to work this out over time.
I mean, we've got to challenge that here. Bernanke's not a socialist. But let's bring in Joe Battipaglia here, David.
Yeah, although I just wanted to say one thing, Joe, is that it's clear that what Bernanke was doing was involving himself in public policy. Is that out of step for a Fed leader?
he has made a dreadful error here, because in the past, Alan Greenspan nuanced his comments so that there was something for Republicans and Democrats to fight over, not to assume that it's right. He has now basically taken the lid off of everything and said, raise the cap for lending from Fannie and Freddie, raise the cap for guarantees from HFA, and he used the right words. He, in effect, is saying give equity in the homes to the homeowner, which is to say, as example, if the house was worth $100 now and the guy owes $100, then give him $20,000 off to $80. He now has $20,000 in the game. That is socialism as plain as I can get it, because you're not only redistributing wealth, you're now giving other people's money away. And that's a sad state of affairs. And he has endorsed this, which gives congressmen like Barney Frank and senators like Chuck Schumer a chance to run for the roses here to redistribute more income.
And I will say, Joe, to your point, this guy is considered either the most powerful or second most powerful man in the world. He's got to show
he can be replaced, Charles, and he should.
Some leadership, though, at some point in this sort of crisis.
That's not his job, Charles. His job is price stability. His job is price stability in the economy.
Bernanke got the job because he was going to speak to us,
and he screwed that up too.
One at a time.
We don't have price stability.
One at a time. All right,
my biggest
that's a whole different topic.
We have a 15-second hard break, and you know what that means. We got to take a break. We'll be back with a lot more of our exciting discussion.